Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We made it to Friday. I'm glad to see y'all in the building, okay? If you're in the building, hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. It's Friday night, y'all. And this is a long weekend for those that still work. It's a long weekend. It's the Labor Day weekend, okay? I hope y'all got some good plans. I'm just chilling. But I'm always grateful for the weekend, okay? So listen, guys, it's Trending Topics Friday. I'm glad y'all hanging out with me. If you hanging out with me, hit the like button. Okay, so tonight's our title is Broken Hearts and Legal Drama. Broken hearts and legal drama. If you live long enough, you probably got your heart broken at least once or twice in your life, or maybe more, especially Jennifer Lopez. But there's many of us. Broken hearts and legal drama. That's what our title is tonight, y'all. Happy Friday. I'm glad y'all in the building. You know, Judge Mathis, we heard August 22nd, that's I think when his wife filed for divorce. We heard after 39 years of matrimony, 39 years of marriage, 39 years of being with the same person, 39 years of living with that person, being on a roller coaster ride with them, going through the valleys and the lows and the roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. 39 years, and she said enough. She went down to the courthouse. She filed the paperwork, and she said, I want a divorce. Now, TMZ, I told you before, they never sleep. I don't think they sleep. I think they got soldiers on the ground 24/7. You need a job, go work for TMZ. Because they got all kind of shifts. They got what they used to call the graveyard shift. 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. I mean, they got shifts for days. They got it. They always in the streets. So they caught Judge Mathis out at the Los Angeles airport. And they asked him how he was doing. He said he not good. Not at all. He ain't try to play it off. He ain't try to act like this divorce wasn't going on. He did not give us a J-Lo and a Ben Affleck. He acknowledged that his wife filed for divorce, but he said he ain't having it. He gonna fight for his wife. And while he acknowledged that his wife filed, he also acknowledged his missteps in the situation. Yes, he did. He said, I did not put my wife first. I kept promising her and promising her and promising her, but I was doing my shows. Then I was running the street with the boys. This is grown man stuff. Yeah, won't he get Come on, he begging. He ain't too proud to beg. No, he not. I ain't mad at him. Fight for your wife. This is your marriage. This ain't no boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. He said, I do. He said, for better or for worse, to death do us part. And he looked in that camera. He said, I'm going to get my wife back. Holler in the chat if you rooting for Judge Mathis. Holler in the chat for him being a grown man. Yes, he did. Yeah, he was serious. Yes, he was. He ain't too proud to beg. You listen, shout out to him being a grown man and saying, I messed up. I did not put my wife first. Matter of fact, he said, even today. He said, even today. He said, you see, I'm in the airport. He admitted he messed up. But he also told us that his wife's still living in the house with him. He said she's still there. And he also said, I hope I can fix it before she really pulled the trigger. Now, he also had to get some other things straight because, you know, when these things happens, because we bloggers, we got to blog. And we tell the people what we heard in the streets. We tell the people what the ground level is saying. So he got some rumors straight, too. He said there ain't no baby. All right, Judge. You said it. Okay, we'll roll with it. He said there's no baby. Now, this rumor I didn't hear. Allegedly, there was some rumor that he touched some child. He got adamant about that. He was pissed. He said, I ain't touched no kid. Now, you know I'm gonna play the video for y'all, but when it came to the infidelity question, he tiptoed, he danced, he did the jigger, he turned the right. He said, "No, that ain't the purpose, the point." He got tongue-tied when that question was asked. The other questions, he was boom, 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 boom. He was Johnny on the spot. Came to that infidelity question, he was a little shaky. But either way, I'ma still, as long as he didn't put his hands on Linda, that's the wife. As long as he didn't put his hands on Linda, I'ma side with him right now. Now, if I hear some other truth, then I'm gonna change my mind. But if he claimed he didn't cheat on Linda, if he claimed the only thing is he had his priorities mixed up, he said Linda kept coming third. He said he put the community before Linda. He said his work, his job, the community, his boys hanging out, he put them all before Linda. But he got an awakening now. And he won her back. So I'm a root for Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis, keep your head up and go get your wife. Now we're going to talk about this Glen Davis. You know, these NBA players, NFL players, these entertainers who come from nothing, and then they get these multi-million-dollar contracts. They don't know how to manage their money. Some of them never had a bank account, a debit card, a checking account. Some of them don't know how to balance what's coming in versus what's coming out, how to diversify and put some in the savings, some in your own 401k, pension, something. Some of them don't know how to do that. And one thing you have to really be careful of is when your talent is your body. So if you're a Whitney Houston, a Mariah Carey, a Beyonce, your talent is your body, it's your voice. So you can't just be in the street willy-nilly, yelling, screaming, straining your voice, because that's your talent, that's your work. You got to protect it. You got to rest it every now and then, drink you some tea, some honey, take care of it. I don't know, wrap your neck with a cloth. I don't know, be in a steam. I don't know what you got to do, but you got to Google everything you need to do to keep your voice together, because that's your talent. That's your money maker. If you a basketball player, you can't be in the street fooling around playing games and maybe hurt your arm and hurt your hands off season or your legs. Can't be no basketball player riding motorcycles, because you risking your money maker, your temple, your body. You got to protect your gift. So a lot of these basketball players, they get these multi-million-dollar contracts. Then they never think about if their leg gets broken, their arm gets broken, they break a finger or not. They don't think about that. They live in the now. And so then when something happens that they can no longer play said sport, they're lost. A lot of these athletes, they started out the womb in their sport. They have mothers and fathers that had them in pee-wee, basketball, the summer basketball. Their whole life, all they did was the sport or several sports. So imagine from birth, they putting a basketball in your crib and everything they talk to you about is basketball. Then you're fortunate, you go to college on a scholarship for basketball. Then you're extremely fortunate because the NBA picks you up. You working, you living your best life, and boom, you break a leg or something like that, and you can't play basketball ever again. Nobody prepares for them for that physically, mentally, anything. So he did some type of scam. He hurt his leg. He did some type of scam where he was scamming the insurance company. He got found out. Now he's sentenced to jail. And he asking the judge, hold on, can you wait and delay me reporting to jail because I'm doing a documentary and I need the money from the documentary to pay back restitution and everything else I owe. He said he's penniless. He's broke. Ain't nothing worse than having hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars come through your hand and it just go boom, 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 but it's gone. Just gone. We're going to talk about this. Tonight's title, again, is Broken Hearts and Legal Drama. Then this last story. You know, nobody, see, this is the problem when people only care about themselves, when they selfish. When you selfish, it comes back to bite you and not in a good way. We live in a world with people, you can't only care about yourself. And everybody needs somebody. So this a school executive, he was in charge of it. What is with these executives that are in charge of the food for the school? We have Vera still $1 million worth of chicken wings. Now we got this executive here. He was getting kickbacks from this food company that was servicing all the schools up there in New York, so tons of schools in New York. But they said the chicken was disgusting. It had plastic and metal fragments in it. It was bleeding out some red, gooey blood stuff. The chicken nugget, I think one of the workers or something choked on a bone. Who has a chicken nugget with a bone in it? So when they found out that he was getting all these kickbacks and that bogus company that he was allowing to have the contract, and he had stock in the company. They gave him shares in the company. So when they found out that he was getting these kickbacks, he was doing all this dirt, he was found guilty. His wife divorced him. And now he's saying that the wife and the kids are suffering, and he's asking the court for mercy. Because he said his kids are suffering and they shouldn't have to suffer. Well, what about all those kids that you was feeding that nasty, disgusting chicken to? Did they deserve it? So now you want mercy. Now you care about the kids. Well, oh, that's right. You only care about your kids and what your kids was going through. You didn't care about all those kids that was getting that disgusting lunch that you was serving them because you was getting kickback from that ridiculous, bogus company. Now you want mercy. That's what we doing? See, when you only care about yourself, when you heartless, selfish, it comes back to you. Yes, it does. But we're going to talk about it, broken hearts and legal drama, okay? And let me say this. Y'all know I do it every time I can, but I want to thank y'all for spending this time with me. Be kind to our fellow passengers, whether they're on the platform or out there with, or on the platform out there with you, or they're on the train with me. Give everybody virtual hugs and love. We're family over here. Passengers on the train. Now, a lot of y'all be cheating and diva, but I mean, I don't know who to call. Hit the like button. Purchase your ticket, people. Special K, what kind of chicken was that? It was bogus. It was doing anything. It was plastic in it. It was metal in it. And it wasn't until all the parents and the students started to complain, they looked into it and they found the dirty deeds that was going on. Messy. But I got to load this train up because it's Friday night and I already pulled the train out the building. Yay. Y'all know what I need in that chat. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Friday night trending topics, and it's called Broken Hearts and Legal Drama, okay? We got Judge Mathis. He said, I want her back, okay? We got this ex-NBA basketball player about to go to jail because he was frauding the people. And we got a disgraceful school executive that didn't care what he was putting in the mouths of thousands and thousands of people, children. And it's the taxpayer dollars. During that darn school lunch, go ahead, go back in the day like me. I used to bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to school for lunch. It's a shame all the accommodations the parents have to do just to make sure our kids are okay and safe. It's a shame. Let me bring the people on in the building. It's late. Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Tiva. Choo-choo. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Choo-choo. Hey, Julius.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. All right, y'all. It's late, but we're going to get right into the story. If you ever wanted to join us on the platform, click the link. We got room. But listen, the train is pulled out, and we're going to do what we do. So let me go ahead and start with the first story. I got to start with Judge Mathis. Because you know what? Sometimes it's easy to pull my heartstrings. Yeah, he caught me. He pulled on some heartstrings. Because when they caught him at that airport, he said he ain't good. And I was like, whoa. Judge Mathis ain't good. I felt for him. But y'all going to let me know how y'all feel. Okay? But he did. He pulled my heartstrings. And I was like, whoa. So hold on now. Let me go ahead and share screen. Let's get into this Judge Mathis story, okay? So listen, Judge Mathis, he said, I'm fighting to win my wife back. Point blank in a period. This is 39 years of marriage, y'all. Almost 40. And he seemed heartbroken and sincere to me, but y'all going to tell me what y'all think. Let's listen.
Hey, Judge Mathis, how are you today, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I want to ask...
I'm not good, rather. It's the worst days of my life. How about that?
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I want to ask you, with news of the separation, how are you holding up?
Not holding up very well. I would say the other man, maybe I'll be an example for other men, cautionary tale. Don't neglect your wife. See how many at the airport now, flying out, as I have for 40 or for 25 years. My wife has been third, serving the community, taping my show, having fun with friends. That's what happens, guys. Never be too busy or never have too much fun beyond your wife.
So I do want to ask, the date of separation is listed back in July 17th. Mm-hmm. Has this been coming for some time now, or was it something out the blue?
Well, ever since we started taping here in LA, I committed to staying home more and making my wife more of a priority. But as you see, I haven't. I'm still here on the road doing the same thing. And in terms of going out into another city. But I was gone for 3 weeks. That's what July 17th meant.
Would you say you two are in a good place right now, or able to maintain a friendship? Or
oh yeah, we're still in the same house and we're maintaining a friendship. And I'm trying to get my wife back. I have to show her that though. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I can show her while we're there together before, and hopefully she doesn't complete the process. But I'm changing in hopes that she will. I'm gonna get my wife back. How about that? Absolutely. I just wanted to eliminate all the rumors too, that it's something about a baby or even me molesting a child. It's none of that. I've just told you what it is.
There were also, kind of some rumors of any infidelity. Did you want to clear that up at all? You say it's solely neglect.
Well, neglect can create suspicion, certainly. And if you're gone as much as I am, you have every right to suspect. You go to work, you go serving the community around the country, then you go with your guys to sporting events around the country. You go to other events except without your wife hanging with you and enjoying herself with you. And so, yeah, she would have a right to suspect infidelity.
But there was none of that going on.
That's not the purpose. That's not the reason for this.
He said that's not the reason, okay? Infidelity is not the problem, all right? And he said he going to get his wife back, all right? So Judge Glen Mathis is going through it, y'all. He said he ain't good. Hot on the heels of his wife Linda rushing the court to pull the plug on their 39-year marriage. The TV judge opened up to TMZ at LAX Friday, making it loud and clear that divorce isn't what he wants. I hope Linda heard him. Adding, he's doing everything he can to turn things around and win Linda back while they're still under the same roof, hoping she'll have a change of heart. He admits not making Linda his top priority during his career led to their downfall, and gives some sound advice to other men on how to avoid the same fate, which which we watched in the video. As for those infidelity rumors, he also got a thing or two to say about that too. TMZ broke the news. Mathis' wife Linda filed for divorce Thursday, August 22nd, citing their separation date as July 17th, and listing the go-to irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split. Listen, people, Judge Mathis wants his wife back. I'm coming to you, Felicia. Hold on. Thank you, 48. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Diva, you know I love you. I'm at my son's football game and you in my ear. Choo choo. Go Falcons. Well, go Falcons, okay? And Judge Mathis gets your wife back. Okay, come on. Hey, boy, you in the building. Felicia, your thoughts?
Oh my. I was listening. Listening.
Okay.
So, when I'm listening and I'm attentive to the words people are saying, I was attentive to that word neglectful.
Mm-hmm.
So I says, now what does neglectful mean in the flesh out of that word? So it means failure to care for properly, to disregard a duty of resulting from carelessness, indifference, willfulness, the state or fact of being uncared for. 39 years of being treated less than the trash. So I understand why she's at the house, because she told him, you got to stay the hell out. You've been out and you got to stay out. She's not going nowhere. She's going to be in that house. I get that. So he says he's in the airport. So I didn't get the feeling that, he's going to be sleeping in the airport. He said that he was three things. First came serving his community. 2 was taping his show. And 3 was hanging out with friends at sports events throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear anything about the wife and the children.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. He said, no, this wasn't anything to do with infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with something of harming others, any children. And I believe it.
Yes.
I believe he was terribly neglectful. And she has stopped asking him to do better. Because he said he didn't listen, right?
Right.
He hadn't been listening to her. So for what, 39 years, she's been asking. And she ain't been getting. I think that's so sad.
It is.
So no, he's not doing well. Also, this is what I believe, and I'm an intelligent woman, I'm a very good listener, that he went to the lawyer, and the lawyer told him it's about $125 million you probably got to pay this woman.
Don't do that.
Well, let's look at his net worth, okay? Let's look at Judge Mathis's net worth, because there was something else very important he said about where he lives. Mm-hmm. So that's a 50-50 state, right? So he probably went to go talk to somebody. So it says here, his net worth in 2020. Oh, and Judge Mathis ain't even got no money. So he's been paying for all these people. So his net worth for 2024 is around 25 million. So she gets 12.5 million and he's still got to pay taxes. And now he can spend the rest of his life on the road, in the airport, with friends and serving his community, because after all of that work, it's only 25 million. Okay, so no, I don't feel bad for him. I feel bad for the wife who has been neglected for over 3 decades. I'm done, Diva.
Oh my God, not neglect for 3 decades. Julius, you're up.
Miss Mathis said to herself, Do you want to continue to live in misery or be associated with misery or being shown that that you're not the presiding main priority for this man? I'm pretty sure the decision wasn't easy for her. She had to pray about it. She had to seek her ancestors' guidance on what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer was clear. She had to start loving herself. She had to start putting herself first. And she had to start to say, no more.
Mm-hmm.
And Judge Mathis, if you knew all she wanted was your time and dedication to her as your wife,
Mm-hmm.
and you deliberately and purposely chose to neglect her
Oh
and
my God.
forsake her as your dedicated, loyal spouse, the head of the family,
Mm-hmm.
the keeper in order of the house, the matriarch, because the matriarch overtakes the patriarch. And so she woke up and said, I am done.
Mm.
My kids are grown.
Uh-huh.
It's time for me to do me.
Wow.
And so she said, Greg, I'm done. I am done. It's time for me to say bye. Bye. So long. Be well. So yeah, he could cry. He can cry all he wants.
Mm-hmm.
However, the universe gave him chance after chance and he chose to neglect and forsake. So now he's starting to be in the early stages of the consequence.
Oh my God.
I stand with Linda Mathis. Get your money, honey, and reclaim your life.
I'll now reclaim your life. Thank you, Julius. Thank you. Oh my God. Not reclaim your life. Wayne, you're up. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. You know, there's something called alienation of affection,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I'm sure there had to be a big part of it as well. You know, 39 years, and all he talked about was his show, his friends, he traveled, blah 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 blah. And 39 years, a lot can go on, go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of forgiveness. His stuff is not like I went somewhere, you know, one time. This they've been married 39 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure before the judge, you know, his show, and before that, this has been consistent on and on and on. Nobody jumps out of a marriage, a good marriage after
Mm-hmm.
39 years. I don't know what this woman had to endure, but based on what Judge Mathis said, I'm sure mentally she had to go through a lot, especially if she was faithful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and what did he? I don't know what he expected her to think. You gone away 3 or 4 weeks, and it's just constantly going on, and she's still not getting attention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she probably thought there's some infidelity somewhere, and not only that, I don't know why these reporters ask these people these stupid questions. Do you think if there was any infidelity, going on, he was going to tell him? He told them just what he wanted them to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's still in the house. I want my wife back. Of course, he can't really say anything negative. And I'm like, Felicia, I think he went down there and talked to that lawyer, and that lawyer told him, and then also told him, said, you know, and you can't forget my fee.
Mm.
So Judge Mathis, I'm not passing any judgment on him, but I mean, I think you just, whatever you did it just one time too many, and whatever it was, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm.
And once you have it in your mind that this is it, it's over. I'm talking about that process, because I'm sure you go through it. People going through separations, divorces, go through it before they make a final decision. And I think at that point, once she did that, was no turning back. So it's something he gonna have to endure.
I appreciate you, Wayne. Roy, you up?
Okay, first of all, hello everybody. Felicia, Julius, Wayne, Jennifer. I hope everybody's having a great night. Hello, chat. It's so good to be around. I'm gonna just say this piece real quick and then I gotta get off.
Okay.
First of all, when I was told, Auntie Diva texted me and told me that the Mathises were getting a divorce, y'all, I literally fell out. I was a fan of their show. Outside of being a fan of their show, I am a fan of marriage. I am a fan of being together and working it out, and as long as the change can actually happen. So I am rooting for Judge Mathis and Sister Linda of their 39 years of marriage. It's been 39 years. As long as this man ain't beating on you, cussing you out, I feel that we can work through whatever is going on as long as he is really willing to change. We are 5 kids in. They have been together since the early days. I want to say her family took him in. He had a rough childhood. They have been through so much together. And in reality, so much can happen, as Wayne said, in 39 years. And sometimes you can lose focus of what is most important. And it seems that he lost focus of what is most important. And, I really believe that they can work through this. Judge can change, and I'm sure Linda's not perfect too. So both parties have to be willing to change and make this work. And I'm rooting, for 40 years. Let's go 40 years. They are around some beautiful people. They hang around LL Cool J and his wife. They hang around Magic Johnson and his wife. They are religious people. I am just fighting for this marriage. I'm fighting for change first, and then I'm fighting for them to get back together and continue their beautiful marriage, because one of their sons is getting ready to get married. Greg and Elliot is about to get married. Don't worry, it's the right thing. Anyways, yes, I'm just fighting for love. We fighting for Black love, okay? And like she said, Diva, he doing old school begging. All he needed to do was get on his knees and say, please, 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 baby, I want you. I'm praying for them to work it out.
He wasn't giving her no time so he could take his
spend time. No, I'm not saying
it up on the wall.
Yeah, I'm not saying for them to get back together tomorrow. And that's why I said they have to be willing to do the work. And it looks like he's willing to do the work, and if Miss Linda is willing, I'm here for it.
All right, we got Roy here in go ahead, Felicia.
Roy, I miss you so much. I love you. But if that was today, darling, I don't think Linda was in the airport, baby. He was flying out. He was going and doing what he'd been doing.
Well, she's probably giving him no attention right now, so he got to do what everybody's necessary. And then that means getting on the internet and showing out for his baby love. Do what you got to do, boo. Do what you got to do.
Okay, I'll give him about 72 hours, but he's going to have to come up off that money.
He still definitely need to come up off some money. She needs to have a transaction, definitely put in that account.
Yes.
We talking 39 years.
Yeah.
$3,900, not 3,900, 3,900,000 is what we
okay, 390,000. That's for just to go shopping and
then plus the 400,000, once they get to 40.
Okay. Yeah, and then the 12.5 million. And maybe he can stay in the house. Okay.
She's still running the accounts anyways, because that's the issue. See, Miss Linda, she old school. Miss Linda was paying the bills, ironing his clothes, making his food and stuff. And see, he don't have that now. And now his life is all out of whack. He don't know what to do. He can't survive without his baby girl.
That's why he said, I'm going to get my wife back. K&J, thank you for the super chat. Go, Linda. He said he stayed in the streets too much while, thanks for popping in. He said he stayed in the streets too much while hopping on another flight. Hashtag he played too much. Well, Well, you know what? He was talking out of two sides of his mouth, because he said the problem was that he was in the streets. And he said, but I'm still in the streets right now, but I'm going to get her back. He got to get his life together. Maybe we got to send him to counseling. I don't know. Tay, your thoughts?
He played the Boys to Men. I'm bending down on the knee. When the woman's so fed up, if you take your love away from me, I'm going crazy. And you start traveling so much, you won't have a problem with this, Judge Mathis. I'm team Miss Mathis, okay? She gave all her she gave her career, her life for you, so you had your career, so you make some money, while she take care of her kids at home, while you was in the streets and go traveling and had your own TV show right there. I said, if we don't want to get that money, I'm fine with that. But Judge Mathis, I applaud you to be admit that you want your wife back. But she said she had enough. Enough is enough. She is done. 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 That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Rita, you in the building, your thoughts?
Hello, everyone. What I thought was when people retire with each other, husband and wife, the kids are grown, there's no buffer, husband or wife might get on each other's nerves. But then when Miss Diva put out her thing about catching him in the airport, when he was like, oh yeah, essay about a child came up, I'm like, whoa, wait. I've heard about infidelity. I've even heard about you spatting on people about a vehicle. People get tired of shenanigans. You can only be so strong for so long. The kids are grown. You're supposed to be retired, I guess. My State Farm guy, perfect example. State Farm guy just retired maybe a year and a half ago. I work with his wife in the hospital. She decided, oh, okay, I want to retire when you retire. This man from the late 1990s was like, why is she retiring with me? I just want to go on a 7-day cruise without her. And I'm like, whoa, I have never heard you speak that way. And it's just like I thought, hey, we're retiring together. The kids aren't there to buffer. So we're getting on each other's nerves. But then when Judge Mathis said that, like, oh, the allegations of essay of a child, I'm like, whoa, I never heard that. And wait a minute. But my big thing is, as women, the man cheats on us, you can get over a cheat. The man has a baby on us, you can get over the baby. The man does all kinds of shenanigans with us. We as women can get over it. Then, okay, women, if you were to cheat, and then if you were to have a baby, that man is gone. Like, I'm just so unclear of how much stuff we have to put up with. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Yes, you keep your dirty laundry in the home, but she's probably tired. Like, you got out of college, we got married, I've been saving face. Yes, Wendy Williams is messy, and she tried to say what she had to say, but he did overtalk her. But this man is spatting in people's face about a car, and because he didn't get it fast enough, like, when are we as women going to say enough is enough? You can hold it down for as long as possible. And people can say, oh, it's about money. But you didn't have money when you graduated from college. Do you know how much college student loans is? So it's extremely frustrating. And we will never know, I guess, what the real problem is, but they're in retirement age. And she's like, I've been holding it down. You said you're going to retire. You're still gone for 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 weeks. And you can have Becky over here, but I'm still supposed to keep it cute and stay mute. When is it at our time? I'm not 50 yet, but it's just like, are you kidding me? How much more do we have to endure and keep accepting it? But God forbid, if we were to do the same thing, Lordy, everybody need to put a prayer and a candle out. So that's what the frustration is for me. So, I mean, I just want to say that because it's extremely frustrating because he has not been innocent in a lot of things. And it's just like, how much more stronger can you be until you break the camel's back? So that's all I have, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through and saying that. Q, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. This is interesting. Divorced men have the highest rates of depression over married men and single men. He will probably be looking for someone or something to fill the void if she doesn't take him back. But oh well. Woo! Ooh! Listen.
You stepping in the name of love to the bank. Okay.
He had 39 years of that woman having his back, having his children, being a good wife, being a faithful wife, never in the streets, never in the block saying anything about this man. She held him up. And yes, if you watch that show, she cooked, she cleaned, she loved the ground that he walked on. But everybody has their breaking point, and maybe Linda reached hers. And see, she never went this far. So when she went down to the courthouse, he passed out somewhere. Wherever he was at, and he heard that she went down to the courthouse, he passed out. You hear his beginning words? He said, I am not good. He said, I ain't good. He's feeling it already. And he's hoping he can repair this thing before she really signs on the dotted line and said, I want out. When a woman had enough, well, Linda is that woman. We're going to see if she will take him back and if he can repair this broken relationship that he admitted himself. I had my faults. I was doing my thing. Well, guys, let's go ahead and roll into this next story. This is about Glen Davis. You know, I'm not a sports girl, but it's an interesting story, a telltale sign of, unfortunately, these basketball and NFL players that just have millions of dollars, and then at the end of the day, they have nothing. They're penniless. They're broke. So let's get into this story. So NBA legend Glen Big Baby Davis gets 3-year prison sentence delayed so he can finish a movie. That judge has some grace on him. So NBA legend Glen Big Baby Davis has a lengthy prison sentence on the horizon. Hold on, let me just pause this so it won't be in the background playing and I get dinged for that. So has a lengthy prison sentence on the horizon, but he's got some work in front of the camera to complete before he goes behind bars. Based on a ruling made by a judge in Manhattan Federal Court on Wednesday, August 28th, per the Associated Press, Davis, 38, can wait until October 22nd to begin serving a 3-year, 4-month prison stint so he can finish a documentary about his life. Davis was originally scheduled to report to prison on Sunday, September 1st. In November 2023, the former Boston Celtics star was one of 22 people, 18 of whom were former NBA players, convicted of filing false medical claims with the NBA Players Health and Benefit Welfare Plan. In May, he was sentenced to 40 months in prison and 3 years supervised release. That's a lot of time. Davis has maintained his innocence in the case since the charges were initially filed in October 2021. On Tuesday, August 27th, Davis' lawyer, Brendan White, argued that completing the still in production documentary could go a long way in helping to pay back the $80,000 in restitution Davis owes in the case. White said the documentary was in limbo as the production company attempted to schedule interviews with Davis' former colleagues and friends with the ex-basketball star to be used in the film. In her ruling granting the postponement, Judge Valerie C. Caproni wrote that Davis owes significant restitution to a victim, and she hopes optimism about the financial rewards of the film is warranted. Davis' financial struggles have been well documented, including at sentencing in May, when his lawyer said Davis, who also played for Orlando Magic and Los Angeles Clippers during his 9-year career in the NBA, asked for $800 so he could keep his phone on. I've been struggling because basketball was taken from me, Davis said at sentencing. That's all I know. I was an expert at that. But when I lost basketball, I lost myself. Davis' NBA career came to an end after he underwent left ankle surgery in the summer of 2015. He returned to professional basketball in 2018, playing one season with St. John's Edge of the National Basketball League of Canada before finally hanging things up permanently. There is no word on the expected release dates for the untitled documentary. So he fell on hard times. He hurt his leg, he's broke, and he's going to jail, and he owes $80,000 in restitution. Someone has to, I don't know what else we can say. This story, it's similar stories like this. We got some of the ex-players, drugs, just down and out after their career with the NBA was over. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, this is a multi-layered situation. Did I get this right? His going to serve his time is delayed because he's doing a movie.
Yes, you got it right.
The
documentary about his life.
Okay. And allegedly he has no money. So he's going to earn this money from this documentary to pay off the people that he owes restitution to. But what I wasn't clear about, was this a Ponzi scheme? What was this?
I don't know, because you see, they said a lot of other basketball players was involved in the situation also.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. They didn't give us all the details. I couldn't dig up too much stuff, on it. But it's a lot of these players end up in similar situations where they're kind of on skid row.
So I don't. He's not on skid row yet, because clearly somebody likes him. He's done something wrong. He's been found guilty, and they told him, "Yes, okay, you can go do your movie, and then you can go off to the jail." So I think that's pretty nice of them. However, I think part of what his situation is, much like you said, he doesn't have a strong foundation in anything else. And when I say those words, I'm talking about a purpose. So he gets this opportunity, as I was reading, that he was at some summer camp. He was at one of these enrichment camps, these bowling camps. It was headed up by our guy from last night, Shaquille O'Neal. Mm-hmm. And Shaq was very impressed by him and extended to him an opportunity. Okay. So many of us have never been given such opportunities, but he was one of the blessed ones. And he played for quite a few teams in the NBA, but he didn't seem to ever get his footing. So this is why I'm sensing there was no purpose. He didn't have any goals in mind. He didn't have anything planned out. So he was very young. He's very big and he's very young. So it sounds like he was amongst the younger players, and he got caught up in this Ponzi scheme, and he didn't have the money to probably get a really good lawyer to pay the restitution. So he's going to be the one that they put up as the one that's, this is a problem. They're very quiet about who these other people are and what the actual crime was. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so because of that, I'm not going to pass judgment on him and how this is going, because this is really the first time I've ever heard of a judge delaying something like this because you got to go make a movie. So I'm imagining that this judge is probably like maybe he's going to sporting events with the other Judge Mathis. Maybe he's a friend of that friend, and they said, can you do so-and-so a solid? Can you do them a favor? And this is why you have this situation going on. And probably it's not a good favor, because he's probably not going to learn from the errors of what he's done and try to really turn his life around. He's still looking for another opportunity versus getting his life in a place where he has a purpose and a meaning, and just go in there, do your time, finish the film when you get out, if you can get out, and move on.
You know, I agree with you. He's not going to learn a lesson because he's 10 toes down. I mean, but many, unfortunately, what do you call it? People that commit crimes are, he 10 toes down, like, I didn't do nothing. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Exactly. And maybe he's protecting the names of the other players, because when I was looking at it, he paid for quite a few good teams. So I can imagine who else he was hanging out with. And he got, you know, because he wasn't as sharp. So they said, hey, put this money in, blah, blah, blah. And he was doing maybe the most talking, like the superintendent yesterday, screenshot and stuff. You know, these people are stupid. They're just stupid.
Okay. They are stupid. They are stupid. I appreciate you, Felicia. Tay, you're up. Stupid.
Look at here. If somebody say I do this right here, you better believe I'll turn that evidence against them right there, because you ain't gonna drag me for this right here. I'm not gonna protect you in the team. I should have kept my distance. I saw what you did. Probably somebody set him up and framed him right there. Because you know how football, basketball, all the teams, they did to their players right there. Because who is your real friend and who is not your real friends? They don't care about that. They're here for chicken chung chung. And I applaud for the judge to let him finish his movie. Then he go back to the jail for there or there. Because this dude right here is trying to change his life for this right here. That's all, Devo.
I appreciate you. Julius, you're up.
Think before you do something. Because you have zero idea of the consequences. Think before you do something.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Julius. Listen, I'll stay connected to his story, but it is interesting, like you said, Felicia. They're not mentioning these other names, right? And they're saying it's 22 of them. That's a big number.
It is 20. It says 22 is the Southern District of New York. So we're not talking about some small legal government area. Now we're talking about a serious crimes here. And when I was looking at some of the stuff here in this Wikipedia, it said that Davis was arrested for drug possession and drug distribution after police found 126 grams of marijuana and a briefcase containing $92,000 in cash in his hotel room in Maryland. Davis agreed to pay the maximum fine of $15,000 in exchange for moving the case to the Stet docket, a legal disposition in the state of Maryland, meaning the court agrees to indefinitely suspend the case and not pursue the charges. So this was 2018. So here he come back and he do more foolishness, more crimes, along with these other NBA players. And he was indicted by the federal grand jury in the Southern District of New York for charges of conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud and wire fraud for allegedly defrauding the NBA's health and welfare benefit plan. So based on that, it's about reimbursement of claims. So Diva, this is your forte. So they went to a fraudulent doctor and said all these injuries was going on. A whole lot of them need to go do time. Take them all in. I'm tired of them. I'm done with them. I want them all in the jailhouse. I want them gone.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right about knowing somebody, because now you tell me about this previous situation in 2018, and now you got a judge now talking about, oh, you could delay going to jail. This is not going on vacation. No, you better do like Suge Knight, collect call from Suge Knight. No, you finish that documentary via collect call, sir. But you got to go. September 1st is your day. September 1st, I'm gonna need you here.
Absolutely. And I think the situation is he sees that he's able with a story to not have to pay time or to get things to be changed. So he's not going to learn from this. He'll be back here again with something else before this documentary is finished.
Oh, good gosh. I have to agree with you on that. We're going to roll into this last story because I'm going to need people to give a little bit more care about the kids. I really am. This is getting terrible. And while you're out there, hit that like button. But I'm going to need the people to care about the kids. Let me play this executive here first. I'm going to go to, let me see where I want to go. Let's go to this news story. Then I'll go to the article.
Is facing up to 20 years in prison in a scam that resulted in kids finding plastic and metal in their chicken tenders. The former head of the city's public school food services has been found guilty of extortion and bribery after federal prosecutors say he chose greed over the well-being of students. ABC News senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky joins me now with more on that. Aaron, let's backtrack. How did this happen, and what exactly was Eric Goldstein convicted of?
He was convicted of bribery and extortion charges that accused him of putting the greed and the financial interests of his own pocket ahead of the well-being of the students that he served, because Goldstein was in charge of feeding New York City public school students, all 1 million of them. And so perhaps it's fitting that he was taken down by a staple of school lunches everywhere, chicken tenders.
Now, how was this uncovered?
So somebody choked on a bone in a chicken tender that was supplied by the Soma Food Group. And it turns out, according to federal prosecutors in Brooklyn, Soma had been paying Goldstein under the table some bribes in order to make sure that they got the contract to serve their yogurt, hamburgers, and chicken products in New York City public schools. It turns out that after the choking incident, those chicken products were removed, and Goldstein would only agree to reinstate them if the operators of Soma Foods paid him more bribe money and if they gave him a stake in the business.
Now, Goldstein testified that he couldn't single-handedly get a product purchased because he called it a heavily gated process, that there could be dozens of decision makers involved. So could we see more people charged in this?
Well, 3 of the operators of Soma Food Groups were charged and convicted right along with him. Nobody would have noticed, perhaps, had it not been for students who were eating lunch and noticed in their chicken tenders plastic, metal, and other foreign objects. And that's when the products were permanently taken out of New York City public schools, and this whole thing unraveled.
Unbelievable to think about food like that going to kids. Aaron Katersky, thank you.
Hi.
Disgusting. Dirty dog. Now let me share screen. Hold on one second. Disgraced New York City public schools exec who turned blind eye to tainted food begs judge for mercy. The nerve. Finally, he's caring about children. The disgraced New York public schools executive convicted of taking bribes and serving tainted food to city kids says his own family is barely hanging on as federal prosecutors seek to lock him up for 6 years. He said, I am pleading for mercy. Eric Goldstein, a former official at the DOE, wrote in August 23 letter in which he tried to get sympathy by describing how hard his 2 sons and ex-wife have been suffering because of his crimes. Not especially for me, but for his family, because without my financial, emotional, and physical support, I fear that they will be cast adrift and drowned. Well, sir, did you care about the kids eating metal? He also told the court, "These events have devastated my family in ways that I cannot explain in words. They are barely hanging on." Goldstein appeal for the heartstrings comes after he and 3 defendants, Michael Turley, Brian Tormey, and Blair Lair, were found guilty by a Brooklyn federal jury in 2023 of extortion and bribery charges for the kickback scheme, including Texas-based meat supplier Soma Foods. Goldstein, 56, pushed Soma Foods chicken products into city schools despite reoccurring health issues in return for kickbacks that included thousands in cash and a share in the company. He even got money to pay his divorce attorney, prosecutors have said. Jurors were shown disturbing photos of some of Soma's offerings, including chicken drumsticks oozing a thick red liquid and other chicken products that contain plastic, bones, or metal in them. Look how disgusting that is. In the letter, Goldstein bemoaned about how his family, 2 sons and a former spouse, faced actual life or death from the fallout of his actions, and that any jail sentence would be a crushing punishment to his family. I can truly imagine a more searing pain that knowing that your actions and decisions might cause the eviction, disillusion, and devastation of your own family. Goldstein, who acknowledged he wears an unfading scarlet letter of felon and failure, said. Goldstein fast-tracked getting Soma Foods into nearly 2,000 schools starting in 2015, but the company had issues keeping up with the demand after millions of dollars worth of food orders. Then from September 2016 to March 2017, school reported bleeding from half-inch pieces of wire like metal and blue plastic found in the poultry. And a food service manager needed to receive the Heimlich maneuver after choking on a bone in a chicken tender. It took until April 2017 for the DOE to remove all Soma products from schools after repeated complaints by students and staffers, prosecutors said at trial. His attorneys are asking the judge to keep Goldstein out of jail because of his fundamentally good character, citing his 15-year stint at the Department of Education and more than 2,000 dozen letters sent by family and friends. That is him there with the people that own Soma Foods, okay? Eric has been crushed by the realization that all he will be remembered for is his involvement in this case. This experience might accumulate in his incarceration and the certain devastation of his family that would allow is often too much for Eric to bear, his attorney said in their sentencing submission letter. But prosecutors who are seeking to lock Goldstein up for 63 to 78 months laughed at his attorneys trying to downplay his role in the chicken scandal. The notion that Goldstein, who was the chief executive officer of school support services responsible for school food, athletics, and busing, was not a high-level decision maker is candidly disingenuous, and the court should similarly reject, prosecutors said in their own filing. Prosecutor added that Goldstein greed also harms potential vendors doing business with the DOE because they will wonder whether they too will need to make payments to DOE officials to get their products approved. Each of the other co-defendants face up to a little more than 5 years in prison, according to the feds. They will all be sentenced September 9th in Brooklyn federal court. This man got the nerve to plead for mercy after he allowed all of these schools to get that tainted food and chicken from Soma Foods. What a disgrace. Felicia, your thoughts?
I'm disgusted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disgusted. So when you say metal and blue things and uncooked and contaminated.
Plastic.
Yeah, that's the blue things. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking all these kids were probably getting sick all the time and nobody understood why the kids was getting sick. They go to school and you're hoping for the best and they're actually ingesting toxins and poisons.
Oh my God.
But he wants mercy for his children and his wife because their lifestyle has to change. I don't give a damn about their lifestyle, sir. You should have cared about your wife and children and the children you were serving, and provide them with the kind of quality and love that they needed to be able to function in school, to perform well, and not to what you said, a hemlock on a colleague, choking on a bone or a piece of metal. It's unacceptable. But it's interesting. So this is somebody else pleading to the judge, and he's probably going to get his way. I'm concerned. So come September 9th, we'll know whether or not he's going to be granted some kind of probation or maybe an ankle bracelet or such, because he doesn't want to go to the jailhouse. Because I didn't hear anything about restitution. Did you read that? Right? I didn't hear having to pay any money back or anything. So he just really doesn't want to go to the jail. So when he says, can I please get mercy, he's probably willing to take an ankle bracelet. He'll get to keep all of his jobs. We know how some of these jobs are with city agencies. So he'll probably get to keep his job, but he won't be overseeing the chicken anymore.
What is it with these schools and the chicken? I don't get it. Tay, you're up.
My question is, where he get the metal from? I don't know, from the trash can or something else? Or, and then the plastic too? Do you like break the plastic and then like, oh, let me put it in the chicken. So that would, let me cook it real quick. And then cook with all the blood on where. You better believe I'm not going to eat that stuff. I don't do bloods like that and on rare like that. No. I like my chicken and cook how it is. I said throw the key away because this man deserved to go jail. You should have done by your wife and your children the first place before you make that decision like this right here. Wait a minute, Diva. How long he been cooking in the school? Like what? Over decades?
No, he's not the cook. He was the one in charge of getting the food, like wherever the vendor where the food was going to come from the school. And then he was so greedy, he got that one vendor was supplying all the schools. I think they said over 2,000 schools in New York. And he didn't give a darn. He even knew after they complained about the food, he still he fought to keep that company at the school. And that's when he strong-armed them and said, I'm gonna fight to keep you in pretty much, but you're gonna have to give me stock in the company. And that's not even legal too. I really believe that jobs have you sign paperwork to say that, you don't have any vested interest in any of the vendors that you're signing up for these schools. He's disgusting. He didn't care that people's children was eating this nonsense. And now he want to talk about his kids is broken. Well, I feel sorry for your kids, but you didn't feel sorry for ours. And I bet you whatever school his kids was going to, they wasn't subjected to that lunch. I bet you his kids wasn't going to the public schools. They might be now, but I'm sure they wasn't then. It's a mess.
Or the wife made the lunch bag for their sons. That's why I was thinking first right there. You say they go to the private school. I wonder what kind of school they go to. The original school, like us, or somewhere else. Diva, I just feel bad for the kids who had to eat this nasty food right here. What? And then the kids get sick. They're gonna have tummy ache. They have everything, you name it, because this nasty food, this rotten food, this poison food right here, because of this guy right here, just greed. Greed from the Bible says you are selfish and greed. That's what the Bible said right there. All I said, Diva. You made the point right there, Diva. I would never send my kid over there, never, because you don't care about our kids. You just care about chicken chains, mine. That's all you is right there. And you know what they say, Diva? Business is a business. That's what they said. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, but he gonna know now because they're gonna put him behind bars. I believe that 100%. Yes, they are. He can beg all he want, talking about his kids. Everybody who goes in jail that have kids are impacted, sir. You need to come one better. Julius, you're up.
Lock his ignorant behind up. Lock him up. That's it. That's all.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Julius. So listen, guys, we're going to run right into our feel-good story, and I will keep you posted because his sentence is coming up soon. I'll let you know exactly what ends up happening to him. Wayne, did you want to comment on this story real quick before I move into the feel-good story?
Yeah, you took my thought, but I was going to say the same thing. It's amazing that he feels his kid is going to be broken, and I'm quite sure it's a whole lot of men and women in jail who got children, and they not getting a break. I mean, it just amazes me that would even come. His children, nobody else's children. His children. His children, the only ones that's gonna be broken. And he probably caused children to get sick. I don't know. I'm like, somebody in the chat said they have to think twice about chicken. That's it.
I appreciate you. Okay, guys, I'm gonna roll right into our feel good story. Hold on, let me make sure. I hope I didn't. Okay, I do have it. Follow your dreams, people. Follow your dreams. This is about following your dreams. Let me play it.
Morning, we are spotlighting a 34-year-old self-taught artist. She started her career out as a scientist before following her artistic dreams of creating custom sneakers. But her inspiring journey certainly didn't come without a few hurdles. Take a look.
I think shoes are such a great way to express individuality. Imagine walking through the world with a pair of shoes that only you have in this entire world.
34-year-old Vicky Vong is a self-taught artist, putting her best foot forward with customized sneaker designs.
Welcome to a day in the life of a sneaker artist.
She uses social media as an online gallery, detailing every step of her process.
It's honestly one of the most incredible things because I've been able to share my work with people all around the world. I'm in my little studio here working away, and then when I create videos or create pictures that like thousands and millions of people can see, it's incredible. Like something so small can actually have such a big reach.
Born in Canada to Chinese immigrants, Vicky grew up with a strong work ethic, but her journey to becoming an artist wasn't a walk in the park.
I was afraid of disappointing my parents. So I was always like, okay, I'm going to do a career that's going to make them proud. I'm going to do something that has a lot of stability and, financially can support me. So being an artist was just like too much of a dream for me.
While pursuing her master's degree in materials engineering, a family vacation reignited Vicky's creativity and sparked a business idea.
We all decided we wanted to make our own custom sneakers. We went to Walmart, actually, picked up a pair of sneakers, some fabric Sharpies, and just went to town. And that was the very first time that I customized a sneaker. And then on that vacation, I came across so many people that stopped me and was like, where did you buy your shoe? It kind of gave me a little confidence where I was like, maybe I'm good enough that I can put this up for sale.
In 2014, she sold her first pair of custom shoes, setting in motion a side hustle. Vicky continued juggling her business while furthering her career in science, working as a researcher in a microscope facility.
I definitely sold my sneakers for a lot less money back then. I wasn't making minimum wage, let's just say that. It just made me so excited.
Her side hustle gained traction, and she stepped into the sneaker industry full-time in 2020, quitting her career in the sciences. That same year, she began posting videos on Instagram, catching the eye of brands like Fruit Loops.
One of my favorite, I guess, experimental projects has been, how do I create cereal that's like in 3D form and incorporate that onto a sneaker? We were making this display piece that's now at the Fruit Loops headquarters.
And athletes like Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp.
He scored touchdowns with my cleats on, and I get these beautiful photos from it, and I just geek out all the time.
The roster continued to grow, adding more famous faces like Steph Curry and Viola Davis. But her biggest pinch me moment, having a pair of her custom shoes on display at the Bata Shoe Museum in her hometown of Toronto.
I took my parents there. It was really nice to be able to expose them to that and kind of share with them that experience. And you could see them starting to realize, like, oh, that's actually quite cool that, you know, my daughter's in this museum.
Even with all of her success, she's reminded of a sole reason she's here.
There aren't a lot of women doing this. There are a lot of opportunities, a lot of collaborations, and typically they're with men. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided I needed to do this.
And Vicky's advice for other aspiring artists wanting to take a leap into the industry?
Don't let ideas stay ideas. You have to test them out. Not every idea is going to succeed, but if you don't try, then you're never going to succeed.
That is really cool. So here's the thing. Her science background has certainly played an influential role in her art. She has to find and test paints that withstand the wear and tear of sneakers, because a lot of people do want to wear the sneakers. There's a wait list, if you're wondering, because Dylan was just asking me, like, how does it work? She has a wait list for individual orders, and it could cost a couple $1,000s for her time, her labor, her materials. Look at these. We have one of her favorite
Would you wear these? Because they're so beautiful.
Aren't they beautiful?
I wouldn't want to get them
Yeah,
stuck.
I'd put them in one of those lucite shadow boxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, it's art.
So nice.
Works of art.
Those are beautiful.
And watching in like sped up motion how she paints, like,
Yeah.
it's just magic.
Well, these right here, it took her about 2 weeks to do those.
2 weeks.
Mhm.
Well
So you pay her
done.
for her time.
Oh, cool.
Well
What a
done.
great
That's pretty
idea. I
What
love
if we,
that.
maybe we should all go in.
Go in on one pair?
Go in together.
And then
we can take turns wearing it.
Yeah, you wear one foot, I'll wear another.
Yeah.
Get me a nice birthday gift.
That sounds good.
And it's, I see. Yes,
Let's
got
start
it.
with the tie. Actually,
I just thought it was great how she just followed her dream. And I just want to always encourage everybody over here, follow your dreams, do what you want to do, live your best life, hang out with friends, hug friends, make sure you let the people in your life know that you love them, you care about them, you're thinking about them. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Judge Mathis, keep your head up. I hope you do get Linda back. Okay. He said he's broken right now. He's hurt. And I hear his pain. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do not cheat the thief.